Hello, Graham. Okay, so I know this is a really weird angle and it's hard to tell what I'm doing, but just do the best you can, use your imagination. I'm going to talk to Chris about getting a better setup in here so that we can take better video lessons so you can see the drum set more clearly. We need to work this out. But you already know the fill that I mostly want you to work on this weekend. Here I'm going to get behind the drums. So, the main thing to work on is, I think, that drum fill for My Chemical Romance. Not only that, but just trying to work out the entire arrangement of Pristine, the Snail Mail song. So I would strongly advise you before your band rehearsal to go in and try to play through the song in its entirety, listen to it, maybe put it on the headphones and play it through a few times so that you're reminded very well of where you're going, where the stops are, when you have to go into that one beat. We're talking about Snail Mail Pristine, okay? And I would work out your transitions so that you can go into that beat real clear, because that sometimes is something that gets a little messed up, but you sound good on it when you work on it, when you just are like warmed up on it. Alright, so what I'm going to do, just really briefly with this lesson, is I'm going to record the idea that we have in mind to try to hit for the My Chemical Romance fill. So, remember, the ending of the first time through the fill, we're trying to make it be triplets. Triplet, triple. It's kind of like omitting the let at the end. Triple, let, triple. And if you do that, you should just have one hit on the floor tom, end it. So if we were to do it, the first part, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, da 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 da. Now I was thinking for the second part, you could keep it really simple and just do 2 hits across each drum. Make the fill, the progression exactly the same, only at the end of the second time, instead of going, you can just go. That time I just hit each, the snare, high tom, mid tom, floor tom, 2 times, like 16th notes, you know. So this is what I had in mind for the whole thing. Okay, so remember, they're exactly the same. The only difference is okay, and now if the first one is giving you mega trouble, because I know it's a little weird to time those triplets, you could just do it like the second one 2 times in a row. In that event, it would sound like this. In that version, it's a little simpler because you can just quickly follow the fill path. Snare, high, mid, floor. Each time if you need to. It doesn't have to be exactly like they do it in the song, but it does have to be spot on and like metronomically accurate so that you can get right back into that beat. Remember, when you get into that beat, keep those hi-hats loose, you know? Like that. So, one version that might be easier is just keeping the fill at the end straightforward. I'll do it one more time. The thing about that one is you have to hit that crash rather quickly after the fill. That's something worth practicing because you have to hit that crash instantaneously. The fill is simpler timing-wise, but hitting that crash afterwards can be trickier, okay? Now, if you want to really work on it so you're doing it the triplet the first time, this is the progression again. One more time. Again, you can see at the end I just did the easier, straightforward fill path one. But it'd be really cool to do that one and hit that crash really quickly at the end. So if you do the triplet one, you kind of have to back off the speed. Right? Like that. So, really quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a metronome so maybe you'll be able to hear that clicking over the recording. And the metronome I'm setting is going to be at 174 BPM. Okay? That's kind of like as eighth notes. So that's about the speed that you would be doing your hi-hats in the actual beat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play at 174 BPM on the metronome. I'll play 2 measures of the beat. I'll do the fill thing, and then I'll do 2 measures of the beat. I'll do the simpler version first, and then I'll do the more advanced one with the triplet first time, okay? It's the main thing to work on aside from just pristine in its entirety. Now the triplet one. All right, and that's it. Aside from that, Graham, try to work through the entirety of the Snail Mail song with headphones along to the recording, just to warm up and be familiar with the arrangement of it before your band rehearsal, okay? Because you know all that stuff. It's just that once you don't have the reference of playing along to the recording, it's just you and your bandmates, it can be a little trickier to remember exactly where you're going, okay? So I would strongly suggest doing that this week a little bit before band rehearsals start if you get the chance, okay? All right, man, I'll see you next week.